Tina Stitches. Welcome to my channel. Today is Tuesday, September 30th. It is Truth and Reconciliation Day here in Canada. It's a federal holiday, so federal businesses are closed, but provincial, places that are legislated by the province are not required to close. It's not a stat, unless you work for the federal government or have very generous employers, like I do. So I have today off. So I didn't have a chance to do a video on the weekend, but I have this opportunity now. And of course, it's raining pretty bad outside. So I thought, well, I'll take this opportunity to give you a different point of view for this week's video, this month's video. Yeah, I guess it would be a month wrap-up because I think the last video I did, I believe, was the 9th of September. So, yeah. I didn't bring anything to drink, so I did just want to get this done. I have everything here, I think, that I've worked on. My record keeping lately has been very lax. Yeah, I have to have intense record keeping skills at work, and I'm very proud of what I do there. So when I come home, record keeping is gone away, out the window. So yeah. I don't even have a pencil nearby. Okay, so I do have some things marked down for September, but up to the 14th, I don't know. And so that's really means that you might miss something. We might miss something, but I'm going to be brutally honest. I've been fairly monogamous lately. Monogamous for me is focusing on only a couple of projects throughout the whole month. And you're going to see a lot, I know, but Monopoly has helped me pick my projects. Sometimes I cheat, and it's not cheating, it's my game, my rules. So yeah, I have pulled a couple of things off of their Q-snaps because I am going to be moving them. I've done the section I was working on, and it's time to move it. I'm going to pull this one out as well because it's not close enough to the edge for me to get done what I have to do. I might have to go and get that drink of water or something. And, but we'll see. We'll see. I know I should have had it off already, but then this would have been another 5 minutes later. Just kidding. I might edit this out if it's going to be an editing kind of day. Who knows? It might just be left in because of, time constraints. I do have the day off, so might be a lot of editing, might not be. Okay. I am just going to put it on the top of the Q-snap just as a frame. Okay. So, Monopoly I had rolled to land on Go. Go for me is wild. Stitch whatever you want. Take the you know, take a break, don't stitch, whatever. Yeah, so I pulled out Puppy Girl. And you're going to want to see the cover, right? This one, I am a little bit concerned about backstitch because it's got some pretty detailed backstitch in it. This is Girl in a Poppy Field by Vervico. It's a kit. I'm using the kit threads, but I swapped out the fabric because the 14 count Adia that's in it is very stiff. I did try, but it was not enjoyable and I had to switch it out. And here's where it was when you last saw it. And here it is now. Seeing it out like that is really encouraging me to keep going. And that's basically what I'm going to do. It's the rest of the dress and the poppies, and then the backstitch, which, like I said, it's pretty detailed, but it will make things like the stems of the stamens of the poppies stand out, the seeds, all that. Yeah. Now, this one is a little bit more difficult than the rest to finish because I am fudging it right now. There is a mistake here somewhere and I know what it is, but so I have to fudge around it. But if you can't tell where the mistake is, and then I am fudging it very well. So there it is, Girl at a Poppy Field. I started her in May, I believe, of 20, you know what, I don't know. I do have it on here, 2021. I would like to get it finished this year. For me, I think it's appropriate for November. And if at all possible, have it finished this November. Well, this October, which starts tomorrow. Yeah, I also landed on so that I stitched on for Fancy Lady and for fall because Remembrance Day, fall, poppies. Yeah. I can make it connect however I want. Okay. Well, the next one I'm going to show you, this is another one that I hope to have finished. Doesn't have to be finished in October, but does have to be finished by December, and November would be better. Sorry, everything's on the floor because we're not used to doing it from this direction. So this one is the other focus that I've been having in the last 2 months, really. The Sled Stocking by Dimensions Gold Collection. I know people do find the artwork, artist name, Sam Tim, it's right on the front. Artwork based on Sam Tim. So here's where it was when you last saw it. And I may have moved the Q-snap since, but man, when I pick this up now, I'm on a roll. I haven't worked on it for the last week because Poppy Girl. I worked on it for 3 days, then switched over to this one, and then rolled again and worked on her again. But yeah, I mean, look at that. Look at that. That is, it's almost all done. All of the background stitching, and then it will be the back stitching, the outlining, which the top part is back stitched about halfway. I was trying to do back stitch as I go because I'm not a fan of leaving it to the end, but in this case there's just so many different directions. It's not just a straight backstitch, all one color. There's some that are 2 strands, blends for the backstitch as well. So I thought I'm just gonna leave it where it is now, finish the background, all the crosses, all the half crosses I'm stitching as per the directions. If it says 4 strands, I use 4 strands and a bigger needle. This is stitched with the kit fabric. I did end up washing it at one point because just pulling the needle through was a little difficult, and by washing it, it softened it, and it's more pliable, much more agreeable to pulling big, thick wads of thread through. For instance, right now on my needle I have 4 strands of white and 3 strands of purple. I think I'm done with the purple, but the white, still a little bit more to go. So yeah, it would be nice to have this one finished this year because this one was started in 2023. Okay. And it's not coming off the Q-snap because that was a good spot. So I also landed on Vermont, and I honestly cannot remember what Vermont, I think it's Samplers. And so I was itching to get this one out, and I did get it out. This is Les Belles Lettres de GiGi Lettres, and I would show you what it's supposed to look like when it's finished, but I don't know if I have a good picture. I don't even know where my picture is right now. It might be put back on the shelf, but this is left in the Q-snap, and yeah, so I'm just going to show you where I am. I will move this needle minder, but I'm in the middle. I'm about halfway through the middle page on the bottom of 6 pages, so it's 3 across, 2 down, and I'm basically did it clockwise. Yeah, and here's, should we do a side by side? I don't know what this one looks like, but this is where it's at now, and basically I just came up here and did a bit of this, and there's an issue with the chart. It's not my counting. This is a very straight design, and it has little animals coming off of it, and yeah, in the chart it comes up and then it shifts over a stitch and then continues on the way, and I'm not sure that I can live with that. I have considered doing it the way that it's charted. I've actually had to correct a little bit of the chart for the squirrel was not complete. Yeah, so I had to, add a couple extra stitches where they missed. And yeah, so in order for me to fix it, I just have to undo these 2 squirrels and this little bit, actually just those 4 stitches there. And then I can fudge it and it would be perfectly straight. At least that's what I see myself doing when I get back to this. So I guess it's going to be a mystery, really, whether or not I stick to the way it's charted and just not frog this and continue on the way that it's charted, or undo it and yeah. Because I'm not opposed to leaving it there, and the Amish quilts have that block that's in there. It looks perfect except for the one block, because nobody's perfect. Yeah. So that was GiGi R. Now I am going to show you Hatter. This was the one that I worked on the most, I think, since my, well, no, not true. Stitching Shelf gets twice as much time as Hatter or what are you called? Inner Depths. It's on the frame right now on the stand, but this is Hatter, and the lighting is not doing me any justice. It's horrible, but it's really good for the cross stitch, right? So at least that's how it looks to me. So this is Hatter, artwork by Omri Koresh, charted by Gecko Rouge kit. My husband bought it for me. I started it in 2020, I believe. I know it was a New Year's new start, and no, 2019. And we are more than halfway finished. Yeah. This I'm not sure of the numbers. I might put them on here. But yeah, I was mostly working in his face area, coming into the ear and doing this bit here, and bringing parked threads up, because now we have some anchoring points. Yeah. This is stitched with the kit fabric. It is the 25 count easy count. I'm stitching it 2/1/2 cross, and I'm using Pattern Keeper, which it really is makes a huge difference for full coverage patterns like that. So that is Hatter, and that's where Hatter lives when he's not on the frame. Okay, on the Lowry. So now, Stitching Shelf. And this is artwork by Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, and yes, also using Pattern Keeper for this. I started this in August of 2022, right after I finished Beloved. I dived into I finished one full coverage and dove into 2 more. So yeah, I started this with Carolyn Zook and Kim. Kim doesn't do videos anymore, but Carolyn is still on at Zook Stitch. We have a Facebook group, and yeah, some people are making huge leaps and some people are just crawling along, and I'm kind of in the middle. I'm not making huge leaps. The goal is to get this finished in 10 years, which means 100 stitches a day. I don't do 100 stitches a day. I do sessions, and I do 1,000 stitches, not all at once. When it comes into rotation, I just stitch what I can until it hits the 1,000 mark, finish the day, keep stitching, and then I switch out to inner depths or hatter for my morning stitching. And yeah, and since it is the change of season in North America, it is now officially fall or autumn, and so I have to move up to spring. And so I finished my stitching on winter, so I was working over here, and pulled it out of the Q-snap. And next time I put it in the Q-snap, I'll be working all the way up here again, or this side. I'm not sure which side I'm going to focus on. When I started stitching this, I started at the top center, or what I thought was the top center. It turns out I was looking at the page break as the center instead, and it's only going to be off by like an inch and a half. I got lots of margin. But yeah, I focused on the spring shelf for quite a while, and then I decided I'm going to switch up and switch seasons, and I like to do the opposite season, like what it would be in Australia. So yeah, so here's where it's at. I don't know if I can do a good side-by-side, but here is the area I was focused on. And I've been like working my way down, filling in typewriter method, going across on the shelf. Sometimes I'll just work across like the top or the bottom all the way over to the next scenery and then fill in typewriter method that way. But sometimes I just choose the whole column and work my way over that way. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we have a pretty good start up there and a pretty good start over there. So yeah, I'm not sure which side I will focus on. But we'll put that over there. And yeah, I guess if you want to see inner depths. I don't think I put a stitching shelf picture in, but maybe I did. But this one is Inner Depths by Chris Ortega. I know I didn't show it the last time because it had a little bit of progress. I just got a little bit more in, but you know, we'll show it anyways. So here's where it was when you last saw it. And I think I showed what it will look like. And here's where it's at now. So I'm just working my way across. I'm starting over here and filling in, because this was the highest point so far, and then I'll come back and go back and fill in the next 10. Yeah, a lot more got done on this side because of the position in the Lowry stand. So I'm just trying to catch up on this side. Yeah. Oh, that's a good shot there. Get my fingers out of the way. But yeah, things are starting to take shape. So that one was stitched 2 over 1/2 cross on 25 count even weave Lugana, something even weave. This is getting really bad. Backlit. Will we have to turn? Let's see. I don't know if that's any better, but okay. Yeah, so we have one more thing to share. I have some finishing happening, but I didn't get anything actually finished. So hopefully next time I will have a few finishes to show. I have 3 things that are on the work table, let's say. But I do have a semi-finished, fully finished. It's stretched and mounted. It was finished in 2022, June of 2022, if I remember right. But for those of you who were, members of my channel at that time or before that, haven't seen me for a while, maybe this is going to draw you back. It is beloved. Yeah. When I first started my channel, I don't know, 8 years ago or so, I was only partway through him, and all of her I stitched throughout my Flosstube until it was finished. And yeah, it is so good to have it back. The story behind that is my brother-in-law is making me a frame for it. He's had some difficulties with the workshop thing, and so yeah, there's delays, and eventually there will be a frame, but we decided he's gonna send it home so that it can be here and enjoyed the way it's meant to be, even though it doesn't have a pretty frame to go with it. That's to come. Yeah, so yeah. I look at it now and I wonder, was that a mistake? I don't know. There's some coloring, it's like, that might not be the right color there. But the only thing I'm pointing out is this. That's the spot that I'm, second guessing just that one little bit of stitching. Yeah, one thing I will note is that this part of the chart I modified. You could probably still see a shadow of what it was supposed to look like, because it was not the easiest thing to do, to rechart it while you're stitching it. And on 25 count, frogging, it was just, yeah. But yeah. So, there it is. There's Beloved. Where will Beloved live now? As you can see, this room is not big enough for Beloved and me. So, it is going to go, well, I have a space picked out. I'm going to talk to my husband about some options, and we'll go from there. Yeah. The wall I'm thinking about is not, it's an original wall, so it needs to be ripped out and redone, much like all the rest of this house. But it's not being done right now, so maybe it'll go up on that wall. But yeah, so plans are Poppy Girl and Stocking. And whatever my full coverage is for the rotation, right now it's Inner Depths, which is over there now, and yeah. The Monopoly might switch out something. It might say I have to work on a stitch along, in which case I do have one planned. I was gonna start another tiny town like this. This is actually one that I'm working on finishing. This is Halloween Town. But I have another Halloween Town that I was going to work on, and I don't know where it is. So there are tags on these, but those are the ones that are kitted up. So these are the whips in works in progress. These are the kitted up ones. Those are the really kitted up ones, like start sooner than the rest, like priority bucket or something. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I started to kit it up. So it's in one of those bags. And Canada Post is on strike again, so yeah, fun. But yeah, so I might be starting a tiny town. Kim and I are loosely making plans on Sunday mornings when we Zoom with Gail and Kim and play Monopoly. So I'm looking around to see. There are two other things that I, have kitted up and may or may not start, depending on how the mood strikes, right? If the mood strikes, I do have things kitted up. One of them, every time I look at it, it's like, yeah, just start it. Nevermore. I have everything in the bag. I have the fabric, and I have a good chunk of the threads. And I'm not opposed to adding threads or buying threads later. And the collectors. Oop, oh, lots of light. Yeah, collectors. And again, I have the fabric, and it's DMC. So those are maybe going to happen, but those are more likely to happen in October, near Halloween. maybe on Halloween, maybe the week of, somewhere around there, maybe. I mean, those two are some pretty big projects, and if I finish a big project, I may allow myself to start another one. So, yeah. So hopefully next time it won't be more than 2 weeks, but it looks like it's going to be more like a 3-week schedule. And that's the way it is. This setup is not great in the bright days, but hopefully this doesn't turn out too bad. Until next time, take care of each other. Take care of yourself. There is good out there. Until next time, happy stitching. Bye. I nearly forgot to show you another project, which actually has had a lot of progress. And yeah. So, bonus, you get to see the chart. Okay, so this is Beautitudes by My Big Toe, and this is stitched on 22 count Hardanger. And I've been working on this on Sunday morning Zooms with Kim, Amy, and Gail. Mostly because it's relatively easy. It's two-tone, two strands of floss, and let me tell you, it's getting good progress. Here's where it was when you last saw it, and what it is supposed to look like when it's finished. And here it is now. Like I said, good progress. Yeah, working on this border coming across here. And then it will just say heaven, and have a design over here, finish this design, finish the reds, diamonds along the last bit of it there, and finished. Yeah. So, yeah, lots of good progress made on lots of projects, big ones and small ones. Yeah, there's another project that I didn't share, and it's downstairs. I will try to take pictures and insert them here of my lunchtime project, which is a out-of-print pincushion designed by my friend Judith. And yeah, it's a rooster. It's a chicken. It's an adorable pincushion in a Quaker sampler style, in shades of pink, because why not, right? Okay, I'm not sure if this is working or not. I will find out, but this is the project that I was talking about, the lunchtime at work stitching, and let's see if we can get this to work. So yeah, it's pink on pink, variegated, and this here comes down here, and then a cross, and then that's pretty much done. Yeah. Looking good. So, yeah, I honestly wasn't going to do it in shades of pink, but I liked the way that it looked in the picture. So, yeah. I can't remember the name of it. Cocoa Pins, I think. But Anyways, now I really am going to go and put this in the computer and start editing it. So, happy stitching.